Hello everybody, this is Nintendo 14. Welcome back to some more Mario Kart online races featuring the Gaming Master Guys. From my perspective, this is John's online races for the celebration of the 1 year anniversary of Mario Kart Deluxe. He had his perspective is already up on his channel. It's been up there for I think about, I want to say a week or so. So you can go ahead and check out that. It also contains the live commentary of it. Here, you're going to be listening to my own commentary about some other stuff that I'd like to just ramble about in the ramble-tary, if you want to call it that. So let's just get into it. The first thing I want to just address is some things that I have on my chest about this game. I've said a few things about this game back in my Year of Mario Kart videos for this game, like the fact that the online is still an issue, and the online is an issue and it still is. The item roulette is insane. Like say, and we're gonna get to the main thing I want to discuss is how this game treats front runners. Like say if I get out to a giant lead, like on most occasions I do. But anyways, the fact that you can get out to a huge lead only to have someone, or only to have the game give one of the players in the back a blue shell, which is going to happen just about every single time that you get out to a huge lead, from my eyes. And just to take away your hard-earned lead, you blister through the track by taking the tight corners, and get all the necessary mini drifts, and just shift around the track to create the fastest racing line around each track. And to have all that taken away from a blue shell that was coded into the game, so that way the rest of the field can catch back up, and to add more fuel to the fire, there's also a chance that if there's no blue shell, then certainly there's going to be a chance that the game's going to give second place, or around somewhere those lines, triple red shells, and that could also slow you down. If not, in some way the triple reds can be even more costly and more deadly than, say, the blue shell. Because the thing with the blue shell is, yeah, you can't stop it, but the thing with the red shells is that, or triple red shells, is if the person using it times it well, then you can get comboed by all three triple reds, and it's not fun. So I don't know if it's just me or not, but honestly, I think we should really do something about triple reds. I always thought that there's a reason why, if you were to play single player, none of the computer players ever use the triple reds. I guess just to make it fair for the player, I guess. But here's the thing though, in multiplayer, anybody can get triple reds. So that means there's a chance that you can have triple reds being used against you. So I don't know if this could be a good or bad thing. If say a future Mario Kart game does allow a computer player to use triple red shells. I feel like I've already discussed this about triple red shells, but whatever. And so in a combination of most of the stuff I'm discussing right now actually happened in this gameplay, where I had to take all these blue and red shells, and then to top it all off, I get netcoded by TJ's dragging green shell, where the hitbox wasn't even clear. I just needed to be in the proximity of TJ, and that's enough for me to register as a hit. So what the heck. Anyways, here's hoping that, and we're gonna segue into the next topic, but hoping that the online service is gonna fix the plethora of issues that Deluxe's online mode has, because I'm sick and tired of the way that this game has been running. And I expect better from this game. And the fact that it's my most played game on the Switch. At least it should be. It's my favorite game on the Switch as of right now. And I expect it to be a lot further. Like it's a port of the Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and you know, all it really did was just add new characters and the revamp the battle mode, and that's it. Real, I'm so disappointed in the fact that that's all they did with with this port. They decided to leave some other key components like private friend rooms and and maybe a more robust MKTV, similar to what Splatoon 2 has with its spectator mode. And just overall, it would be nice to have MKTV as a spectator mode. But now I'm just because here's the thing: I don't think anyone else would agree on me on that, on having a spectator mode, but or at the very least have a good enough amount of people for it to be justified for Nintendo to actually go out of the way to make a spectator mode, like a Splatoon 2 like spectator mode for Mario Kart Deluxe. So whatever. Paid service. Speaking of that paid service, get back to that. It was sometime recently, as I'm recording this, Nintendo announced the release date for their paid service. That way, they can do whatever they want with the paid service. So we're gonna have to start in September 26th, I think. That's when we're gonna be starting to pay for online service. And they also throw in some NES games that you can actually play online, which I wish that's not the only option that they have right now. It would be nice if, say, if you can use it for N64 games, because, in my opinion, if you want to be doing online multiplayer on virtual console games, and I'm going to be calling it virtual console games because, we're going to be talking about these re-released games from the older systems. So, yeah, if we're going to be doing online multiplayer virtual console, you gotta start with by having it for N64, because that would set out a clear example demonstration on what this online multiplayer for virtual console is fully capable of. But anyways, I don't want to get too deep into this because that's all we're gonna be getting until they keep expanding it, because they will keep adding more games with this service that they got when you pay for the online start in September. And so now, with that being the case, and also E3 is right around the corner, so Nintendo's got some things to announce, including Smash Brothers and a couple of other games that they've mentioned, but they have yet to be released. But there's this one franchise that I've been getting back into as of recently. I actually bought a few of its games back to back not too long ago, and I've been enjoying it out of it. So, hey Jack, what's this franchise that you've been getting back into from Nintendo? It's Starfox. Yeah, good old friend Starfox. This franchise that I spent a good amount of hours during my time in the mid 2000s spending, because let me tell you guys something. Once upon a time, when Nintendo had installments of Star Fox, not only once a decade, or actually twice a decade, but there's some fun to be had with Star Fox back then. I mean, you had Starfox Adventures if you're into a Star Fox game that is repackaged as a Zelda game. There's Starfox Assault that, in my opinion, might be the best Star Fox game ever as of right now, because it took what Star Fox 64 did and then increased it tenfold by having an awesome story mode that, unlike 64, it was able to be cohesive, and it was able to tell a really great story with some really good twists and some really creepy ones too. Kidding, but and top it all off, it had an excellent multiplayer that had some great options in here. And And of course, they do have the common complaint with Assault is its ground controls. If you can get used to that, which I have, I think it can be pretty fun to get used to that kind of control scheme. And I found myself not having too many issues with it. In case if you do have issues with it, there's always a dual stick control option for you. So if you're not at welcome with that, then you always got that to back up on. And I did try the dual stick controls for that, and surprisingly, it's actually pretty nice. It actually it handles exactly how I would imagine it be. It feels like when you play one of those third-person shooter games. I'd say like either like Conquer, Live and Reloaded, or any of the Gears of War games. It feels nice. The only problem is the look sensitivity. So in case if you gotta turn around quickly, it takes painstakingly forever. So just you gotta figure out some way to compromise and making sure that you don't have to be in a situation where you have to turn around. So yeah, we got Starfox Assault in there, and then there's a Starfox Command that had this interesting way of it took Starfox 64's branching paths and also added in more plot in that. But I thought that the gameplay was pretty repetitive. All you're doing is you guide the ships that you have at your disposal to through these fogs. Most of the levels in the game have fog that you can brush away with the stylus, and then you have to guide them into all the all the enemy ships, and also destroy all the enemy motherships, which sometimes some mothership bases can shoot out missiles that you can shoot down. That you have to use a ship in order to shoot down, and then they're all pretty easy and repetitive. That's I find myself doing with the missiles. You just charge up your charge shot all the way. You get the max charge shot, and then boom, it's dead. Now, one thing I strongly advise not doing when you're going after a missile, if you have Leon as your team, don't use him as your ways of taking out the missiles, because his shots are way too weak, and it's going to take forever for you to take out that missile. So if I were you, I would use anybody with a lock on ability where you can charge up your lock and do it that way, or you can in my opinion use a character like Panther that has the most broken shot weapon in the entire game, the Zap Cannon, which can annihilate even bosses in just about 4 or 5 or 6 hits. It's crazy how much damage it does, and it might fire slow, but that's very little price to pay if you're patient and you adjust your playstyle accordingly in it. So yeah, that was all fun and great. I did enjoy Command much more than what the majority of people did. So yeah, between 2002 to 2006, we had some great Starfox games on the GameCube and the DS. So all three of those games, it was a darn shame to see neither one of those 3 games do that well. Only a select handful of people that owned a GameCube were able to, or decided to pick up the game and play it, and for the DS too. So, and the saddest part about it is that with each installment, every other Starfox game wasn't selling near as well. So that was the reason of the decline of Starfox, and that's why you guys don't even you don't barely see or hear from the Starfox franchises. That's at this point right now. I'm assuming Nintendo doesn't really know what to do with Starfox, because I'm guessing they're afraid that if they make another Starfox game, it won't sell. The main reason as to why Starfox hasn't sold well is because Nintendo, I think, has yet to really try 100%. And that's they plagued Starfox Zero, the newest installment, 2 years ago, with the motion controls, and really discouraged people from buying that game. Plus, it was a reimagining of Starfox 64 again, just like Starfox 64 3D from 2011. and then Starfox 64, Starfox. All those games retells the Lilac Wars that involves the Starfox team of Fox, Falco, Peppy, and Slippy, and then they go to defeat Andross. Surprises me that half the Starfox game tells the story of the Lilac Wars, where Fox goes to defeat Andross. So now that cycles into what I think what Nintendo should do if they make another Starfox game. The number one big thing is if they were to make another Starfox game is don't retell the Lilac Wars story again, because we really don't need another one of that. If you wanted to have a Lilac Wars Starfox game, or that has the Lilac Wars story, I'd rather just go play Starfox 64, probably 3D, because the controls and graphics are better on the 3DS version. Or maybe if you can really bear down with the controls, then I guess Starfox Zero. But yeah, for this new Starfox game, I want to see a story that either A, takes place before the Lilac Wars, that features James, Peppy, and Pigma as they go to investigate Venom, and you know the story that happens that the prologue of Starfox 64 tells you. You know, I want to play a game like that. I want to see James sacrifice his life to protect Peppy, or something like that. Where there's a mission at the very end where you have to protect Peppy and let him escape or such. And then also really sell the moment in which Pigma betrays the team. So yeah, we can have a prequel to the Lilac Wars with the original Starfox team. We can also have a story where it takes place after the Lilac Wars, and actually takes place during the comics in the Starfox Farewell Beloved Falco. We could tell the story on how Andross got revived after Starfox 64, and how he was able to show up in Starfox Adventures at the very end. Spoilers, if you guys haven't, if you guys have yet to play a 15-year-old game. But anyways, getting sidetracked yet again. Yeah, I think it would be pretty interesting to have a Starfox game taking place at this point in time. It would fill up some gaps that were left that weren't fully explained from 64 to Adventures, like exactly how did the Great Fox get damaged, when how they got damaged, and you know why we have to go repair it, you know, that kind of stuff. And then also better explain why Falco left the team in between 64 and Adventures. And then maybe you could really retell the whole story that happens around the timeline of Starfox Adventures, because I think they could do a lot better than just tell it in like a Legend of Zelda-esque style. Or maybe that's just from the gameplay. I don't know, who knows. And then, so yeah, there's that. We can either have it take place with James's team. We can have it take place in between 64 and Adventures. But then here's one of my more favorite ones, or more preferred ones. We could have it take place after one of the scenarios from Starfox Command, and we can have it. We can have it. Have it take place when Crystal is with Starfox or Star Wolf, and I really describe, you know, what's it like when Crystal is over at Star Wolf, and we could really have some character development but there, especially with Crystal. That, and I think what could be the best out of all the ones that I've yet to go over is it's after the Goodbye Fox ending, where Fox and Crystal finally get back together, and then they have a son named Marcus McCloud, where he goes on to become a expert pilot just like his father, and so he goes on to make his own Starfox team, where he recruits one of Slippy's sons, Pepe's granddaughter, and they also track down Falco, the one of the members of Marcus's father's Starfox team. And they bring him out of there and have him part of the team. They can do that. I think it would be really cool. It would really give the it would give Star Fox a feeling like with Star Fox: The Force Awakens, or did I say Star Fox: The Force Awakens? I mean Star Wars: The Force Awakens. They can have it that way, where we have a pre-established character as Falco. He's the one that mentors the other three of the Star Fox members. In that way, they could also have some endgame redeemability with Falco's character, I think. And then they can also tackle some real life issues with some of these other characters. Like say we can have for Marcus's character arc, we can make him his struggle can be like, I don't know, he's under the pressure of trying to he's under the pressure of being able to live up to the expectations that his grandfather, if you want to include that too, and other members of Star Fox have already laid down, and being a capable leader of this new Star Fox team. And I'm pretty sure there's some other character arcs that I could also go into, but yeah, that's the kind of story aspect that I would see in a Star Fox game. Honestly, I think what would be really great is they make a Star Fox game, but then they also have multiple single players. You know, like in Splatoon 2, where they have the single player, and then later on they have the Octo expansion DLC, and that has its own. That has a brand new DLC pack. So, in a way, we have the on-disc single player, and then we have a brand new single player from the DLC. So, if we incorporate that into what I think we can do with Star Fox, we can have the on-package single player experience, and then if we stick with the game, wait patiently for the DLC, we can add more to the Star Fox game for the Switch and have multiple single players that you can play through downloadable content, and can really I think make for a great Star Fox game. And on top of that, I think what could be the best and really great selling point for a Star Fox game, because Lord knows Star Fox games could really use selling points, because since Star Fox 64 way back in 1997, that's been selling points have really been a struggle for Star Fox, and that's a big reason as why these later Star Fox games after 64 do not sell well. And I think rather than trying to push the tech, we need to be pushing out some stuff that no other franchises, like from other brands like Xbox and PlayStation don't seem to do. And it's not really like with the tech, but just with the game styles. Because the one thing that I see that no other games that are trying to do are online or like co-op single players. There's you got this new game came out recently. It's A Way Out, that has a single player co-op-esque game. It's a co-op single player-esque game where two players can play, and they both play as the co-protagonists. That's a good example of what I'm looking for in a future Star Fox game. I want to be able to not just play as Fox and then have the other three just be controlled by computer teammates. I want to actually have my friends play as the other members of Star Fox. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Then maybe throw in some if you were to maybe play the game by yourself. I think it'd be pretty cool if Nintendo added in some replayability where say this mission is different. Say if you play it as a different character, so like say maybe you can have your on rail or your typical on rail section with Fox, but if you play the game as a different character, like say if you play as Peppy, let's say, you could have him in an all range mode version of a level. So like say yeah, we got Fox a level in Corneria. We have Fox with the on rails, but if you play if you play Corneria as Peppy, then you're treated with an all range mode version of the level, where it's still all the versions of the level are still cohesive. You just see them from a different perspective. Like that would be cool. Like say you can play as a different character, and you also you get to help out Fox. Like say maybe we can have Fox being tailed by some enemies that you have to help him out with, so you know you can go for full circle there. But let's get back to the selling part, because you know with anytime you advertise for a game, you always want to have that one thing that grabs the viewer's attention. And I think what should be a big selling point that Nintendo can have with the Starfox game later down the line is they introduce the ability to be able to play online multiplayer co-op, like PvE with up to 4 players, you and then 3 others. And I think they need to package their commercial as in, there's this one dude out and about. He's got a Switch in portable mode, and basically in like a mode where he's recruiting teammates for his team. So he goes about, finds this one dude, and I can imagine them, the 2 guys, and the one guy and then the guys trying to recruit. They're sitting at like a dining room table, you know, like Mos Eisley in Star Wars: A New Hope when Luke first meets Han, you know, something like that. And they can recruit him like that. And then what else can they do? They can yeah, just advertise the game, show us something that we haven't seen before, something that you know everybody's gonna be interested in, because I really hope I'm not alone on this one, but you know, there's gonna come to a point where you know we're gonna be expecting something different other than playing a game against our friends, because really I don't see any games being made where you can play online, but you can play as a team with your friends. Like we do have the Salma run in Splatoon 2, but I think we need a game that better dedicates the idea of playing with your friends towards one single goal. And I think Star Fox really fits the bill for this kind of idea. Why? Because back when I was playing Star Fox 64 in its heyday, you know, back in 2010, I had a friend of mine come over to my house, and he saw I was playing Star Fox, and then he told me that, you know, is the game co-op, or is it single player? Like, can we both play in a way? But and then I told him, no, the only way that both of us can play is if you know, we go into this battle royale mode, and we just go into one-on-one dogfight. And then he just replied by saying, "Oh, okay." And then that's it. We didn't play that multiplayer. He just went on his way. He went on his merry way, and just didn't do anything else. So yeah, if we're gonna make Star Fox great again, I think we need to rebrand Star Fox, because let's face it, Star Fox has the potential to be one of the big sellers from Nintendo. You know, it's just like Mario, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon. If Nintendo has the time if Nintendo puts the time and effort into it, because Star Fox 64, Adventures, Assault, Command, and even Zero, they all just only scrape the surface of what Star Fox could really be, because there's this big universe in the Star Fox that Nintendo has yet to explore. Like, there's just so many stories that Nintendo could tell and sell as a game. So here's hoping that I'd say Nintendo resurfaces Star Fox and makes amazing games out of them. You know, just like they did with Assault, where it took risks, and you know what, the risks paid off, and you know, in the longevity run, made for a fantastic Star Fox game. So we already have Shigeru Miyamoto all but going on record by saying that he's not done making Star Fox game, or even Pikmin. I'm looking for a Pikmin Switch game too. Yeah, but as a diehard Star Fox fan myself, I'm looking forward to what Star Fox has later down the road. I'd like to see quite possibly a teaser for Star Fox on the Switch. Now, I don't expect them to be releasing it in the holidays of 2018 because I really don't want to see a Star Fox game having to get released right in the same time frame as Smash Brothers, because that's going to be release date suicide, because the last thing we really want from a new Star Fox game is to sell it poorly. Anyways, that's going to wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed that half-hour discussion. You guys probably you guys are probably listening to this in the background while studying for finals, I suppose. So, what I got planned for next is actually my big thing coming up in late May to early June, and I'll have an announcement video shortly coming. I promised most of you guys on Discord, if you guys are in John's Discord server, that I would have a announcement video about it on Friday, but I'm really stretching that. Hopefully I can still keep my word on that. But anyways, I'm dragging things out. I'll see you guys later for the next video that I got up my sleeve. Man, it took me that long just to make another video. Here's hoping that maybe in the future it'll be much easier.